So today I'm going to be making a screencast about Choose a Learning Topic. So when you go to the Global Laurea website and you go to your project page, Game Design 2024, and you click Choose a Learning Topic, click the title again and it will take you to the tutorial page. On the tutorial page, it will tell you everything you need to do for this part of the project. So in the very beginning, it tells us to prepare the workspace, prepare the FLA file. So it says open a new Flash AS3, which means ActionScript 3.0 file, go to File, Save As, and save it as team name underscore choose learning topic.fla. So I'm going to open Flash, click ActionScript 3.0, click File, Save As, and then I'm going to save it as, let's just say my team is my name, underscore, choose learning topic. Then I click save. So now I have, it says right here, my name, underscore, choose learning topic. This is my stage for everything that I'm going to do for this file. So as you go on, it tells you your topic assignments. Choose the learning topic. You identify your learning goal, you narrow down the topic, find your resources, collect information, and finally you get down to write facts in Flash. So you're going to turn your research into a presentation using Flash. Complete the Working with Text tutorial from the Help Center to learn how to create text in Flash. If you don't know how to create text, you can click it and it tells you how to work with text, right? Using the text tool, what is the difference between static text, dynamic text, how to change all the text, etc. So we're going to move on. Create a 3-frame Flash movie to present your information and sources. So number 1, create a new blank keyframe for each source. Each person on your team should make a slide for the source they found. If you found more than one, make one slide per source. So now you have to go back to Adobe, and these things were the timeline, those are keyframes. So we're going to insert blank keyframes. So you should have at least 3. So here's my first one. For the second one, I'm going to right click, insert blank keyframe. For the third one, I'm going to right click, insert blank keyframe. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. So now I've done that. Each separate screen should be about 100 to 200 words. Make it fun. Okay. Click on this link to learn how to properly cite your source, citing a website. Combine your slides into one Flash file. Okay. Add button navigations, save and publish your awesome work, and upload it to the wiki. So what they want is, what are the facts about your game? What are the things that people are going to learn? If you're going to do your game about the Crusades, you should be putting facts about the Crusades. So if I'm going to make it fun, I'm going to use the rectangle tool. In my paint bucket, I'm going to give it a cool kind of background. And I'm going to draw the background across my stage. So now I'm going to take the text tool and I'm going to click on the screen and start typing fun facts. So it's kind of small. So now I want to find a way to change it. Move it over here. I definitely want it to be bigger. So in the Properties tab on the side of your screen where it says Size, you can slide it to make it bigger or smaller. So that's pretty okay. But it kind of blends in with the white background. So now I want to change the color. To change the color, you go down to the color and you just click on the box and then choose a color that you like. If you don't see anything here, you can choose this and you can choose your own color and the different variations of the color. So I really like this blue, maybe there. It's a little dark. I'll just do red or blue. So once you have all your fun facts, obviously you create another text box and you keep typing And if you want to make it smaller, you can make it smaller or not. So I'm going to delete that for now. Let's just say on my next slide, I'm going to have this box, so I know that's frame 2. And then here I'm going to have a circle. Alright, so let's talk about how do we add button navigation. Well, just like last year, we're going to be adding different layers. So this layer is going to be my background layer. And then at the bottom here, there's a little piece of paper with a sticky note, and you click New Layer. This is the Actions layer, and this is where we're going to put all of our code. You might want to have another layer called Text or Buttons. So as you can see, these don't have separate keyframes, so we want to make sure they do. So you insert blank keyframe, insert blank keyframe. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the Text Buttons layer, and I'm going to create my button. So I want my button to be, I don't really like that, so I'm going to make it, maybe I want it to have rounded edges, so in the rectangle options, I'm going to move it, and that's pretty cool. So with the text, I want it to say next. It shouldn't be blue, so I'm going to change it to white. Oops. And then I'm going to move it to the middle. Now you're going to want to take, if that happens, if this starts to, if you click the objects and you can move it and change it, you can lock that layer to make sure that that doesn't happen. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the free transform tool and drag a box around it, right click, convert to symbol. I'm going to keep it a movie clip. I'm going to say next button. And then in my properties, I'm going to call it next button. So let's just say this is here. So now let's talk about the actions. In each actions layer, you need to have a stop at the beginning, otherwise it will start. So to get to the actions, you're going to want to click F9, and an actions box will appear. So I'm going to type in stop, parentheses, semicolon, and I want to do that same thing for each keyframe. So this has a stop, parentheses, semicolon, stop, parentheses, semicolon. So I've only put a button on my first frame, but just to see if it works, let's try the button code anyways. So to get the button code, you can go to the Add Button navigation to your slides, open that tab, and it will tell you all about how to make buttons. So this is a different way than I make buttons, but it's pretty much the same. So I'm just going to go here so I can get the code. So I did my stop. Now I want it to import the mouse event, so I click Control C, back to my actions layer. Okay, and now I need the second part of the code, which is adding my event listener. This is really similar to our on-enter frames that we used in ActionScript 2.0. So when I named my button Next Button, mine was a capital N, and so what it's telling me is that when I click the next button, it's going to go to and stop at the next frame. So my next frame is frame 2. So now let's see if it works. I'm going to press Control Enter. So once you press Control Enter, the file will come up. You can click Next and it will go to this frame. So let's say you create a button, and I'm going to pull from my library the next button again. In the properties, you're going to want it to name it something different. So mine is going to be Next Button 2. But the code is still going to be in frame 1. So when you go to your actions layer, you're just going to copy this small portion of the code, put it underneath Next Button 2, and then it will go to and stop at frame 3. So buttons that you put in the subsequent keyframes all have actions in the first keyframe. And when you're done, you click File, Publish, and then upload your files to the wiki. And you're done with your Choose Learning Topic files.